Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will start our second lecture with Essential Chemistry Cambridge IGCSE book. So we will continue our unit number 1, Particle and Purification. Last lecture we covered solid, liquid and gas. Now we will cover 1.2, Changing State. As we know, there are three physical states of matter: solid, liquid, and gases. By increasing temperature, the volume of all states of matter will be affected. So when the temperature increases, all three states of matter show an increase in volume, and this is called expansion. And when the temperature lowered, all three states of matter show a decrease in volume, and this is called the contraction. Expansion or contraction are the result of small changes in temperature, either temperature increase or decrease, but it is a small change in temperature. Large changes in temperature and pressure can cause changes that are more dramatic than expansion or contraction. They can cause a substance to change its physical state. These are the physical states. So large changes affect on these physical state. So now first we will see the solid. When we heat a solid, its particles gain energy and vibrate more vigorously. The force of attraction between the particles are weakened and solid melts. And this process is called melting process. It means by increased temperature or heating, solid turns towards the liquid. And here, if we are looking at the liquid, so if the temperature of the liquid become increased, the process of turning from liquid into vapor takes place, and this process is called evaporation or vaporization. What is happening here in evaporation or vaporization, if you will see, some particles of liquid have enough energy to escape and form a vapor. One point here, that the evaporation takes place from the surface of the liquid. So there are two major points we should remember, that the larger the surface area, the faster the liquid evaporates. And beside it, the warmer the liquid is, the faster it evaporates. On the other hand, if temperature of the liquid increase more or higher heating takes place, the force of attraction between the particles becomes weaker and weaker. And at a certain temperature, it becomes hot enough that bubble of gas appears inside the liquid, just like here. So this process is known as boiling. So in the boiling, the liquid turns into gas. Here I would like to tell you how to differentiate between evaporation and boiling. Major difference is that bubbling effect is not visible in evaporation. On the other hand, bubbling effect is visible during the process of boiling. Second major difference is that evaporation occurs only from the topmost layer of the liquid, while boiling occurs from the entire liquid once its temperature reached boiling temperature. Remember this thing, that in all three processes, melting, evaporation and boiling, energy needs to be supplied. Now what is condensation and freezing? Condensation is the process, the conversion of a vapor to a liquid. It means reverse of evaporation is called the condensation. Condensation or liquefaction is generally occurs in the atmosphere when warm air rises, cools and loses its capacity to hold water vapor. As a result, excess water vapor condenses to form cloud droplets. So these fluffy clouds are caused by condensation in the air. Change of liquid into solid as a result of a reduction in temperature is called freezing or solidification. Liquid convert into solid. Change of liquid into solid as a result of reduction in temperature. Energy is given here in condensation and freezing. Energy is given out to the surrounding. Okay, one more thing that is a few solids do not melt when they are heated. No liquid state is seen. Instead, they turn directly into gas. And on cooling, the gas turns back to solid state. This change of state is known as sublimation, like here. If you will look at the triangle, this triangle represents all changes of state. Solid turns to liquid, it is called melting. Liquid turns to gas, it is called evaporation and then boiling. Gas turns to liquid, condensation. Liquid turns to solid, it is freezing. And solid directly convert to gas, just like here, it is sublimation. Explaining changes of state in terms of the kinetic particle theory. We can explain this heating curve using ideas about the energy and motion of the particle. This graph compare temperature to either time or more commonly heat added to a particular substance. What type of changes are taking place in this graph? Now, before explaining this graph, uh, at this point, recall your memory with the previous lecture about the particles movement of solid, liquid and gaseous particle, that solid particles are very close to each other. Liquid particles, on the other hand, has some space between them, and gaseous particles are far apart. Now look at this heating curve graph. Here substance is a solid in a solid phase. When the temperature is raised, the solid particle gain energy and vibrate more strongly from A to B. Okay, so it gradually goes from being a cooler solid state to a slightly warmer solid state. So temperature is increasing. Now, at some point, that solid is no longer going to be completely solid. It's going to start melting. So, when the process start to happen, what we see on our graph is that we get a flat line at B to C. As this process is called melting process. As melting process does not happen instantaneously, suppose you want to get an ice cube that is in solid state to fully melt, you have to keep adding heat, and this heat, whether it is from just from outside the environment or from your hand. Here we can see the temperature is constant and no change occurs in the temperature, and you find out the straight line. Why? What is the reason for this one? This is because heat energy which is supplying here is going to utilize in breaking the forces which is present between the solid particles. Solid particles are very close together. Na? So the energy which is supplying is completely utilizing in breaking the forces between the particle instead of raising the temperature, and particle begin to slide over each other and melt. So changing from solid state to a new state, that is called the liquid state, is taking place here. In C to D, the increase of the energy increases the motion of the particle in the liquid, because here now liquid is present. So increasing the energy increase the motion of the particle in the liquid. So the temperature of the liquid increases. Then again D to E. Now here this is liquid state. Now D to E, what is happening here? The temperature is again constant, and we find out the straight line temperature is not increasing, because the energy supplied is going in to overcome the forces between the particles of the liquid instead of raising the temperature. And here some particles have enough energy to escape from the surface, what is called evaporation. And the particles when have enough energy to break the forces attracting them together, the particle move very fast and separate from each other. At this stage the liquid boils and convert into gas. So this is the state is going to be changed, liquid state towards the gaseous state. In E and E to F, this one, E to F, increasing the energy, increase the speed of the gas particle. Here these are the gas particles. So the temperature increasing. Gas particles are far away from each other. So now we can say that the horizontal part of the graph from B to C is where the solid is changing to liquid stage, and this is melting point. There is no temperature rise. Same in D to E, no rise in temperature, horizontal line, as state is going to change liquid to gas and boiling point. These were the key points which we covered: terms melting, boiling, condensing, freezing, sublimation, and also we find out we study that melting, boiling, and evaporation energy is absorbed, while in condensing and freezing energy is released. And the last slides we cover that when a change of state occurs, there is a change in the type of motion of the particles, which can be explained using kinetic theory. This is the last slide. These are the summary question which is given in your book, and I hope that with listening carefully this lecture, now you will be able to solve all these questions by yourself, or you can say these are the homework for you. Okay.